click on this video. So we're going to be solving the equation here, 3x squared plus 9x plus 6 equals 0 using the quadratic formula. So here on the right, we see that the quadratic formula is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, and then all of that over 2a. And I wrote this out down here. So in this equation, we have negative b, we have a, c. Where are these coming from? So from the initial equation, we can see that the value in front of the x squared, that is your a, the value in front of the x, that is your b, and then the value left over at the end, that is your c. And so taking this from here and plugging it in, our a is 3, and we see the a shows up there, so there's our 3, and it shows up in the 2a, so there's our 3 down there. B is 9. So here in the beginning, we have a negative b, so we'll have a negative 9. And then we have b squared, so it'll be 9 squared. And then lastly, c, which is going to be 6. And it just shows up here at the end, the negative 4ac. So we'll have the c being a 6 over there. And this may look like a lot going on at once, which is totally fair. It's a lot, but we'll break it down. Sometimes it factors out nicely, sometimes it doesn't. Let's see how this one goes. So we're going to leave the negative 9 here, plus or minus, and we're going to just do some algebra here in the middle. So 9 squared is 81. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 6 is 72. And we'll keep the negative there. So this becomes 81 minus 72. Coming down further, I just simplify what's underneath the square root. 81 minus 72 to get to 9. And then down here, we have 3 at the end. So negative 9 plus or minus the square root of 9, which is 3. So our final equation is going to be x equals negative 9 plus or minus 3 over 6. And so you may be seeing this plus or minus, maybe you've seen it before, maybe you haven't, and you're thinking, what is this? This essentially says that x is going to have to be broken down into 2 different answers here. One in which there is a plus present, and one in which there is a minus present. So moving over here at the top right, we see 2 things, right? X equals this value on the left and this value on the right. In the value on the left, the plus or minus is a plus, and in the value on the right, the plus or minus is a minus. So x equals negative 9 plus 3 over 6, comma, negative 9 minus 3 over 6. And this is just what we were doing before. We have here our x equals negative 9 plus or minus 3. We just took one, made it the plus, and took the other one and made it the minus. Doing some algebra, negative 9 plus 3, negative 6. Negative 9 minus 3, negative 12. Nothing in the denominator, so we leave that the same. Over 6 over 6. Negative 6 over 6 is negative 1. Negative 12 over 6 is negative 2. So what this means is that if we were to take negative 1 and negative 2 and plug them in here, we should get the equation to equal 0. So let's check that out. So we're going to do each one of them separately. So for x equals negative 1, we're going to take that same equation, 3x squared plus 9x plus 6 equals 0. And everywhere we see an x, we're going to plug in the negative 1 and see if it works. So the negative 1 here becomes just 1, and the negative 1 times 9 here becomes negative 9. And so 3 times 1 is 3. 3 minus 9 plus 6 equals 0. Negative 9 plus 6, negative 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. Just confirm that x equals negative 1 works. And what about x equals negative 2? It may not seem intuitive initially that a number that's double the value would just work, but that's why we test it out. So x equals negative 2. Again, we're taking the value and just plugging it in. So 3x squared plus 9x plus 6 equals 0. Now the x is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. Negative 2 times 9 is negative 18. Okay, we're down here now. 3 times 4 is 12. Negative 18 plus 6 equals negative 12. 12 minus 12 equals 0. And again, 0 equals 0. So we have proven using quadratic formula to solve this equation here, 3x squared plus 9x plus 6 equals 0, that the values of x rather, are negative 1 and negative 2.